Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. In today's video we are going to make a Mad Libs. So what a Mad Libs is, if you don't know, and my relatives won't stop me sending messages, so okay, never mind. A Mad Libs, if you don't know, is basically just a bunch of words from completely different genres just jumbled together to form some paragraph which makes no sense and is really funny at the same time. Alright, that's literally what Mad Libs is in a nutshell. So we are going to make that today in C++, and surprisingly it's really simple to make. So in this video we're going to make it, and through this basic game kind of, you will learn how to work with strings a little bit more better. So what we will do is we'll create a story first. Alright, so let me just type out a story.
12 seconds later.
Alright, so there we go, we have our story. So it's very weird. So it's basically Tina was a good girl, she loved pancakes, but one day she was carried away by a bunch of ocean waves. I don't know how did I just come up with that right now, but okay, let's just continue like that never happened. Ignore the story, okay? I know it's bad, but it's something, okay? So what we'll do is basically we will replace parts of this story with the user input. We'll ask user for something like 3 or 4 strings, and then we will basically replace parts of this story by those strings. So what we'll do, let's decide to replace Tina, or let's say like good, okay? Tina was a whatever girl, she loved let's say that, but one day she was dash away, was dash and by a bunch of dash, okay, like that. Now you may notice that I'm using these curly brackets, and that's just a convention. It doesn't really mean anything special. It just says that this is a place I wish to replace. Replace is just a placeholder area basically. So if you ever see these curly brackets like this inside a string, then just consider that to be a placeholder area. Alright, now let's work on taking the user input. So let's create 4 variables, and again, to create multiple variables you can just create them in a single line if they have the same data type. So we are creating a string, so again we have to access the std : which is the standard namespace, which is basically every default function in C++ is there in the std library. So in the std : we are going to say string. Alright, so this is basically creating a string variable. We're going to name them as str1, str1, str2, str3, str4. Alright, now we have to ask the user for these strings, so we'll again use stdcin, and my keyboard is bad, so I have to use this virtual keyboard for some of the keys. So we'll just say cin, this right arrow operator, and then we'll just say str1. And now we'll just do the same for the rest of the strings, so str2, str3, str4. Now I'm not using this stdcout here to indicate that enter the first string or enter the second string, because I believe you can do that yourself by now. So give that a try. If you do not know how to do it, then just type stdcout and these left angular brackets, and then you can just say enter the first string, and you can just do that, and it will you have to copy this line for every other string, and you should be good to go. Alright, now the next task is to basically replace these placeholders with our strings. So let's replace these with our strings. Alright, now you can do a similar thing for these ones too, so you can just do that. Alright, now we have created our basic Mad Libs program. Let's run it and let's see it in action. First thing I like to show you is something that's rather odd. If you try to do it, you may actually face this issue. So I'll just also want to fix that right now. So for example, in the string 1, let's try to enter a 2 digit word, two word sentence, a two word phrase, whatever. Okay, let's try to enter two words. Let's try to enter Tina was a good girl. All right, so they have, there are like two words separated by a space. Now the thing is that with cin that's not really going to work, because if you can use the debugger for this. So if I just do this, and I'll not tell you how to use the debugger just yet, it is coming in the series. So if I just press enter right now, you may expect string 1 to have the value of good girl, but surprisingly string 1 has the value good and the string 2 has the value girl. So what's happening? So the thing with C++ is that the scene can only process one word at one time. So whenever you're basically doing this, you're just taking one word from your input and storing it inside string. Then the other time scene is called is taking another word from your input and storing it inside str2. And that's not what we want. We want the entire line. So for that you can actually use another function, which is get line. So it gets the entire line. So I wanted to show you that as well in this video. So for that you have to actually include another file. This is our first include except of iostream. So that's pretty exciting, I think. So I'll just include string, right? You have to include string. You can also include string.h, but I'll just include string. And doing that will basically allow us to access std get line. Okay, this function basically takes in your stdcin, and then you can pass in your str1. Okay, so what that does is, now if I just remove that and only use the get line, and I'll just put the debugger there, and now if I enter good girl, right, you can see that str1 has the value good girl. So now that's working very fine. Alright, now let's quickly replace the others with the get line as well. And I'll just change that, and now let's try running this again. Alright, finally, now let's try to use this program and let's make a story as like weird and crazy as possible. Alright, so Tina was a nice girl. Okay, she loved reading minds. But one day she was kidnapped by a bunch of fishes. There we go. Tina was a nice girl. She loved reading minds, but one day she was kidnapped by a bunch of fishes. That's the perfect story. Alright, so that was it for this video. If you liked it, then please make sure to subscribe, and for more amazing content just like this, make sure to hit the bell icon as well. And make sure to like the video. So in the next video we will look at how to make a simple calculator, and using that we will work with numerical data types such as integers and doubles and floats and all. And I'll see you there. That's it for today, and I'm out.